Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 is coming, and I refuse to let Buff Roshi be the extent of Earthling transformations in that game. So, today we're going to talk about every single new Awoken skill I think could be added for Earthlings in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. And I'm not even going to waste your time, so let's get right into this. Number one on the list is a Great Saiyaman Awoken skill. But not this, I don't want this. I want them to go the route they did with Great Saiyaman in the Dragon Ball Heroes games with this really cool cybernetic suit that can also come with a sword or some type of other weapon. Dude, this thing just looks amazing. And also in Dragon Ball Online, which is related to Dragon Ball Xenoverse, and it has to be related to Project H1000 because they both take place in H1000, the Earthlings of Dragon Ball Online take a really big focus on making key enhancing technology. This is such a big part of the lore that there's even an entire World Tournament Science Fair just for showing off the best equipment. And in Dragon Ball Online, one of the classes for Earthlings was going to be an engineer class that just focuses on making really good equipment to make themselves stronger. With John 1000 looking to be some really cool Super Saiyan Great Saiyaman type of character in this game, I really hope they give Earthlings some love so they can look just as saucy as the Great Saiyaman. But at the same time, with this, I could also see this being a universal transformation, but specifically because Dragon Ball Online has a lot of focus with the humans using key enhancing technology, I would like for this to be a Earthling transformation. And while I am using Great Saiyaman 3 and 4 as examples, this technically doesn't have to be a Great Saiyaman transformation. The whole point of this Awoken skill is just a really cool cybernetic suit that can be used to enhance the Earthling's abilities. And using a suit to enhance your abilities is something we actually see in Dragon Ball Super, because in the Tournament of Power, Universe 3 has this really goofy fake Power Ranger guy, and he has a suit that he uses to give himself more speed and make his attack stronger. And by the way, this suit is actually really cracked. Like he states, he gets a 300 times multiplier to his power and speed. That is almost a Super Saiyan 3 level increase of power. That is insane. To put that into perspective, Saiyan Saga Krillin could literally solo the Ginyu Force if he had this suit. And Namek Saga Krillin would be over 20 times stronger than second form Frieza. Imagine if Dr. Gero or Dr. Hedo got this technology and how strong they can make it. Or another brilliant scientist in the future of Dragon Ball Age 1000 that lives in an era that's had over 200 years to advance their key enhancing technology. But in Dragon Ball Online, the key enhancing technology goes really far, from basic stuff like guns, all the way to robots and pilotable mechs. And this is one of the ideas I actually got from my comment section. A lot of the times, you guys can come up with some really cool, unique ideas that I never would have even thought of. Gotta thank y'all for this. But this mech idea would be an amazing way to give the Earthlings their own giant transformation. In Dragon Ball, we've seen mechs like Dr. Wheelos, like the Pilaf gangs, and with the lore of Dragon Ball Online making these things really strong, I think them being an Awoken skill would really fit for the lore of the game. I mean, your Saiyans might go Ozaru, your Namekians might go Giant Namekian, but you can just pull out the mech and throw hands with them? Listen, that sounds really cool to me. That sounds like some Power Rangers BS. I would love that. Also, I do want to remind you guys, Annie Raza is literally just a mech. He's like this super mech fusion type of character, but still a mech. So, hey, if they want to do something with that, they could do something with that, bro. That would actually work. But there are more things that I see in my comment section that I really do want to talk about. Next is the forearm technique we see Tien use. And I kind of already thought about this a while ago, but I didn't think the fans would actually want to see this. But you guys said differently, you guys really do want to see this, and I think it would be pretty cool. Part of that is because I'm a JJK fan, and True Form Sukuna just looks awesome, so, you know, having your own forearm CAC sounds pretty cool. And I gotta say this too, Sukuna made me realize just how broken having 4 arms would be. And not even with just the simple stuff like out punching and out wrestling your opponent, especially when you can grab 2 of their arms and still use 2 of your arms to punch them. But It gets even more broken. Imagine if Goku was fighting Cell hand to hand, but he had two other hands to just charge up a full powered Kamehameha, and he can just shoot that whenever he wants to? So from a gameplay standpoint, the same way how when Saiyans go Super Saiyan, they get the ability to teleport whenever they use a charged attack, I think the Four Witches technique should allow you to not only charge, but also choose to release your blast whenever you want to, even while you're still fighting, because you have multiple arms. So think of charge moves like Crush Cannon or like Darkness Twin Star. You can release them whenever you want to. But to make it balanced, if you do get hit and flinched, it will go away. But this would be amazing. Imagine having a fully charged ×10 Kamehameha in your back pocket. You can shoot that whenever. That would be great. Saiyans have the Super Saiyan God Awoken skill, which is one of the best in the game because it has no downsides and gives you a gigantic boost to basic attack damage. I could see this being the equivalent for Earthlings, but not just boosting basic attack. If they also give us some crazy four-arm combos, I would just love that. That would make this thing really, really cool, and I think this would be a solid Earthling Awoken skill. Now, previously, one of my ideas for Awoken skills for Earthlings were weapon transformations, like using swords, using staves. They could boost different things like strike supers, ki supers. But with Xenoverse 3 taking on more Age 1000 and potentially Dragon Ball Online features, I could see us actually having different movesets, so that wouldn't necessarily need to be a thing anymore. But if they don't do that, then please give us some really cool weapon transformations for Earthlings. Now this next thing is something that only showed up in the show once. It was really random, never got talked about again, so I don't really see it being in the game. But I think this would be perfect from a gameplay perspective, and you could even spin it around into a lore perspective too. And what I'm talking about is this weird pseudo form Krillin got before the Tournament of Power. Now this Krillin power up kind of reminds me of what Jiren does whenever Jiren powers up, but like way less cooler, but I think it could work. In the lore of Dragon Ball Online, Krillin and Tien both went their own ways to make really great martial arts schools so that Earthlings can be useful in battles with these really overpowered aliens. And one of the things with Jiren is that he doesn't have any crazy forms, but he's as strong as he is because he just has crazy ki control. That is one of the reasons why Jiren is so overpowered. Which is bullshit in the anime. Bro is literally stronger than Fuse Zamasu, but in the manga it is not a plot hole. We even see in the Dragon Ball Super manga, when Vegeta trains with the Yardrats, when he gets way better ki control, he gets a gigantic power boost immediately. So I really do think this super amped ki control awoken skill could really work from a lore perspective. I mean, we have the new Turtle Hermit School, the new Crane School, which were made from Krillin and Tien looking back at their past experiences and saying, okay, how can I make Earthlings useful in this environment? And back in Dragon Ball Online, the strongest enemy they could look back on was Buu. But with this being a continuation of Dragon Ball Super, these guys have experienced the Tournament of Power. So I really do hope they give ways for humans to be really strong in this game. Lore-wise, game-wise, hey man, whatever. And again, from a gameplay perspective, the Turtle Hermit School focuses on support. The Crane School focuses on just a crazy amount of offensive damage. You can make the Awoken skill function differently between these two schools. I could see the Crane School version just giving you a bunch of offensive power at the cost of, I don't know, maybe ki drain, slow health drain. Now, when it comes to the Turtle Hermit version, I don't know what they could do. When it comes to actually supporting your team, unless they want to make this the first Awoken skill that actually helps your allies with buffs, now that would be really, really cool. But something simple they could also do is make this Awoken skill function like Ribrianne's ultimate, to where it literally gives you more ki and stamina, but also it could give you like a bigger health bar. Also, most important part, I need the aura to look really, really cool. Not exactly like Krillin, maybe still have the ki focused around the fist area a lot, just so we know whenever someone's using this form. But I need the aura to look really, really cool. Not this like bland white aura Krillin had. No, I need something beautiful, something majestic. And if Xenoverse 3 does have custom auras, just let us customize what this aura looks like. Now, those are the forms I would really like to see in Xenoverse 3, and I think they could actually make sense. Now we have some other forms that I see you guys talk about a lot. Number 1 is the animal people from Dragon Ball. Now, I see a lot of people want this to be in Xenoverse, and personally, the way I could see this working would be similar to how it works in Dragon Ball The Breakers, where you can use the shapeshifting to become a chair, a vase, a statue, a missile. So you can use that for a lot of things. So for Xenoverse 3 to have this like kind of gimmicky ability, I could see it being an emote or a skill. And because Dragon Ball The Breakers has these assets, we could use the shapeshifting ability to become known characters, like King Kai, like Baba. You can become the king of the world in Dragon Ball. Hold up, what's his name again? Oh, now I see why you guys want to be animal people so bad.
I know what kind of man you are.
Now, I think all of this would be kind of gimmicky, goofy stuff that I would like to see in the game, but wouldn't take it seriously as an actual transformation. But if they were to give us actual transformation / ultimate skills based off the shapeshifting stuff, I would love to see the things we saw Oolong do. Like his robot that fights with noodles and chopsticks. Or his evil boar. And the most important Oolong transformation, Chud Boma. No, I'm joking. But I'll be honest with you, that is like pretty much it. I mean, it is already really hard to make transformations for humans / Earthlings, but I think this list is actually pretty solid, and I would love to see this stuff in Xenoverse 3. But I do have one honorable mention. In the same way that Krillin and Tien led martial arts schools, Goten and Trunks did the same thing in Dragon Ball Online. But they created a sword fighting school because they realized just how strong of an ability Keyblades are. But unless you're an incredibly skilled fighter like Zamasu, like Vegito, you're not going to just be able to make a Keyblade. That is a really advanced technique. So to make it more manageable, they created an entire martial arts school around using focused ki on a already existing sword. And the Sword of Hope definitely looks like it would be their ultimate move. And we see the Sword of Hope used to take down someone way stronger than Trunks. The same way how the Neo Tri-Beam could hold down Cell even though Tien was way weaker. And Krillin making the Destructo Disc, a technique that can take down and kill people way stronger than the user. Goten and Trunks making an entire martial arts school just for ki sword fighting was low-key genius, low-key amazing, and I hope there's like a new version of the Sword of Hope in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. But that is pretty much the end of this video. In the comment section, guys, tell me about any forms you would like to see for Earthlings in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. Something that I didn't list, something I didn't think about, please let me know. But I'll catch you guys later. Hey, keep doing your best. God bless. I'm going to see y'all later.